fmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. I hope y'all are having a lovely day. Is this gonna work? It is! Hi, everybody. Hi, Nick. How are you? Heard you're having a good day.
Yeah, I'm doing good, thank you.
Real quick, we're doing day 2 of FileMaker script naming conventions and best practices. Would be really awesome. Tomorrow, we're doing reverse sorting dates in FileMaker using custom functions. Nick, as always, is an awesome presenter. He covers a lot of really amazing topics and, frankly, does a great mix of advanced and fundamentals that you really need to understand the intricacies of. I always like to joke that Nick does a great job of, frankly, pushing FileMaker to its limits, which is always fun. Real quick, if you'd like to support the channel, we would greatly appreciate it. We have our annual subscription training bundles. Once in a while, I get a comment that goes like, "Hey, Margaret, really don't like the live stream format. I get it. A live stream is like an hour long. We have a very conversational style, or a lecture, depending on who's presenting, and that can be a lot for a lot of people to process. Or you have a very specific topic you want to answer, and we're not really covering it. I highly recommend that you look at our annual subscription bundles. Our videos are basically anywhere from like 10 to 30 minutes long at the most, but most of them are mostly in the 10-minute range, to be frank with you. And they are highly animated and they cover very specific topics. And you can go from having no understanding of FileMaker to a very excellent understanding of FileMaker just by watching the whole series. As a side note, if you happen to not be a developer and you're looking at this going like, I really love FileMaker, I really want to use it, or I am a developer, but I don't necessarily want to learn like stuff like API or stuff, APIs and all that shenanigans, feel free to reach out to us at support@rcconsulting.com. We have a ton of senior engineers, Nick included, who can easily help you out. With all that being said, I think we're probably good. Nick, what are we doing today?
We do the following day on the scripts naming. Yesterday we left over how to name the scripts, right? And so to name the script correctly, okay. So we need to put first we need to use the right organization on their folders, right? So remember, when you have one world, what we call in FileMaker, the FileMaker terminology on this is entity. An entity is like, let's say, contacts. Everything around contacts, you can have like a data view, a data entry view, layout, a list view layout, a table view layout, an additional contact layout, whatever, everything that is based on this contact world entity. Well, all the scripts that is related to that environment, right, goes into the contact folder. Now, if you have from site, for example, right, and you have folder that implies contact, but they are all from the site perspective, from the site entity, well, the scripts need to be held in the site folder, right? This is how you organize the things. So you can have separation. I tend to use separation when, for example, you can see here, this is something that belongs together, right? You can see is 5065 A, B, C, D, right? So this is all about is one workflow that they all belong together, or they all belong to the same workflow, like open, select, move, cancel, like open window, add new, cancel, validate, right? Abort from this environment. Well, this will be one workflow, one block of things that belong together. They're all about the same UI stuff, workflow. So you group them together as is. Don't try to use folders, right? Don't try to say, okay, this is one entity, one workflow, and you put a folder right? And you put all of this in one folder. It's not practical, right? So you know what I mean. So I don't do it because but you know what I mean. So put this inside a folder. Don't use this way of numbering the same number with A, B, C, D like this. If you don't do this, what happens is when you call from anywhere, like from here, let's say, right? And you want to call this 50, 65. If you do this 50, 65 here automatically, just by the selection, right, of this number, I have all the workflow, the open, the select, the move, right? I have all of them. And I can see that I have new version and old version of some field, of some, right? So if you have a folder, well, unfortunately, here, we don't have a master detail with folders. We have here, and here is impossible. This here doesn't work well, right? This folder here, this folder menu, the guy who did that, I hate that guy. But because we don't have like, we don't have here a master detail like we have here, right? Like we have here. We don't see this in the selection of a script. So the folder is not helping, right? Especially if you start having a bunch of folder, you are actually piling folder in this list, which is already big, right? So adding stuff here is not a good thing. This is a way better technique, right? See? So do not overuse folders in your script workspace. You can use separators, right? That's nice because, well, this is one workflow, this is another one, this is another one. When you have independent script like this, well, you don't need to have a folder, a separation for each of them, right? You know what I mean? So use separation wisely, right? Like here, for example, these, okay, those are, this is together, right? Well, I have these together, and this alone, this alone, this alone, this, so, this together, this, you can use separation like this, right? But don't put separation on everyone. Maybe I can put it one here, yeah. It could make sense to have one here like this, to have this 60-60 together, right? I can, right? Obviously, I didn't build my customer because it's not my way of naming, right? So I know this is not me. Maybe that's why it doesn't have the separation. But you know what I mean. So you can use separation. Separation is good. So it helps. And so visually, right? It helps select, because when you have a lot of script like this, right? It's always good to have this. So also, something that I want to show you in the workspace about folders, right? Here, you see here in contact, I'm opening contact. I click here, right? And I'm opening all the contact folder and everything. And I open the list, but all the folder inside are closed. Now, I'm still here, and I do this. Now, all the subfolder inside are open. Do it again. Close. Open. All the subfolder inside are closed. Close. I press Alt Option. I open it. And now they're all open. All the subfolder inside are open. Cool. So yeah, that helps, because maybe sometime you want to see all of them, right? And here you can see and you can read and you can identify them easily, right? So now, well, first, do we have any questions?
Not at the moment, so you're good to keep going.
Did you know about this folder trick?
No.
Okay. So, and in the audience?
How about you in the audience? Did you guys know about the folder trick? Ba-ba. David says he didn't know.
Okay. David, you're the only one listening to me. Thank you. So, so anyway, so now I must do this webinar about naming, even though it's basic, but they are outside, we have the video outside, we have the YouTube video, we have, and we need to educate people, right? Because all of what I'm saying right now will be used in the future, if you don't know that, you won't understand, right? So now, for example, you see the do not rename. You notice that I have this do not rename, right? So why I'm doing this? So why I'm putting a folder with a do not rename inside, right? Well, sometime, right, I'm using something that we call perform scripts, but not from a list, from a name. And I'm specifying a name of a script like this. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's the problem. So I specify the name of the script, right? I want to perform by naming it. Okay? So the problem is if I change the name of this script, right? Well, it will say this script doesn't exist because I changed the name. So it's like when you do go to layouts by name and you name your layout like this, right? If you change the layout name, boom, it said layout not found, right? So you cannot rename those things, right? And if you do, sometime you need a reminder to tell you, okay, dude, you are renaming that script. So this script shouldn't be renamed. Or if you rename it, you need to go where it is used and change in where it is used. For example, I have a good example here. Not here. Here, I have a script here, right? And here I put the name of the script, like this. That means it's a script. This script here, the 0004C, it's one script that I use for everything. I have one script and it works for everything. Just I need to change the parameters, right? So set this field with this data, open that script, right? And get this list of IDs and set that field, right? So the script, so I have all the parameters here. Within the parameters, I have the script name that I need to use when I double click. When I single click, I set the field and this. If I double click, right? One click, set field with the first parameter, the field with this data. That's the first click. Second click gets perform script by name, and I have the script in the third parameter. So the script name is here. First parameter, second parameter, third parameter. This is a script name. So here I have a perform script by name, and the name comes from the parameter. So that means if I rename that script, I know I have a do not rename reminder. Before, I was putting do not rename in the script name itself. I was doing this, right? I didn't like it, right? It was too invasive to me. And I came with that, thing that say, okay, yeah, I shouldn't rename that script, right? I know it. I know, even if I select the screen, I put this, even if I search only that script, boom, I know I can't rename that script. It's there. Do not rename. If you rename it, yeah, you need to know where to do this, where you use that, But now I want to show you how the naming convention that I'm telling you right now since the beginning of this webinar, why it works. Go to selected site, right? From where? From contact. Okay, you go to contact. I am in contact. Okay, here in this layout, where do I talk about site? What is a selected site? Okay, I have a list of site here, right? Site. This is a list of sites. Okay, so it might be go to the selected sites. So is when I selected site here, because this is where I select a site, right? So I know where to find it. Go to selected site. Selected site is there. The go to is here in this button here, always. I'm pretty sure that if I go there, if I open this, I will find in my parameter a go to parcel, right? Haha. See the consistency of naming? I was sure to find a go to selected parcel, right? And thanks to my number, boom, I can find it immediately. And I know they are all in the 5,000 world. So I know, right? And I have a do not rename as well, right? So I know where to find them, correct? I know, which layouts and pretty much where, because this is about parcel. This is about site. Well, selected parcel, selected for site. I don't need more information than this. I don't need when you have a consistent way of doing things since the beginning of time, you don't need to have a freaking layout, scripts, comments. You don't, right? You don't, right? So do we have any questions?
Yes. Do not delete goes in a separate folder, question mark?
That doesn't exist, do not delete. Do not delete is the default. You never ever okay. When you're serious about developing, right? When you're serious about it, right? That means you're serious, you're not a rookie, and you're not a dilettante, right? And you want to do good thing. okay, you never, ever delete anything. At FileMaker / Claris, when I was there, sometime, I was in meetings and with the engineers that was working on the product itself, on FileMaker Go, on WebDirect, and FileMaker Pro server. And they had to remove something from the code, right? It was like 2 or 3 weeks investigation, right? 5 or 6 meeting, and you had like a decision making on the very top level, like, the VP of engineering deciding yes or no, let's delete this stuff. Okay, this is the level, right? Of you don't delete, you don't say, oh, you know what, I'm deleting that stuff. I'm going to delete that. No, you can't do that. Even rename something, you couldn't. You couldn't do that. You had meeting, you need to send a request, and to say why, the reason, why you want to delete, why you want to rename, right? You never, ever delete. So I have 2 ways. Okay, I had an old way to do this. I was saying retired, which is, I said, yeah, or old, but old, the people said, people put all like this, I don't do that much. Old. I do, by the way. I did. I was doing it, saying old, right? So maybe because I'm getting old personally, I said, no way, So I have a new way, right? So let's say where I have old stuff. So I have old stuff in Parcel. Okay, I have old stuff in Parcel. So let's open Parcel. Yeah, but I have a lot of things in Parcel. So old. Let's go server. Okay, let's go in server. That's much less. Okay, I have old stuff, right? In trigger. So obviously this is not my work, This is my work, but this is not, because I always put trigger when it's in trigger, okay? But let's say I'm here, right? And I want to retire those 2. I do this. Yeah, it's because I'm zooming, so I'm doing this. I'm putting inside the survey folder, I'm putting a trash folder, and I'm moving those 2 or those 3. But I don't like it because there's no trigger. But I'm putting that here. I have a trash folder in each of them. And I can even go and do, an emoji stuff here, So I open this and I open the emoji. Oh, it's gone. Putting here. Why doesn't... I hate this UI, but anyway, you can put normally I have a trash here. Why can't I put the trash here? Okay, trash. Okay, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Okay, anyway, so you can put a trash emoji here if you want. But I have in each of them. So I put a trash folder, so I know I have something in the trash. Okay, so I have trash, so I can get back, right? And I know those 2 were triggers. I put it back, and by the number, I know they were here. Put it back by the number. I can put them where they were if I want them back. But I don't need to do this anymore. Okay? I don't need. I put them in the trash. Okay? Like a file on your desktop. Boom. They're in trash. Boom. They're there, right? So this is how I do. You never delete, you never rename, right? Or you need to know what you do, okay? But you don't delete. I never delete anything, you know. Or yeah, I know I just build it. I'm on it. I'm building my workflow. I'm building a new thing. Never be used by the customer. You are the only one seeing it. Yeah, okay. You can delete, rename, do a move, and and repurpose, and you can do whatever you want because you know. But if it's there for 2-3 months, people are using it. Is in production, and no, you don't rename and you don't delete, right? You need to know what you do. Never. It's an advice that I'm giving you. You put in the trash, and you know what? And you will be very, very happy you did it. The day you need it, you say, okay, oh, thank you, thanks God. I don't have to redo that stuff because your customer said, hey Nick, you remember the thing I asked you to remove like 6 months ago? Yeah, I talked with my staff and we lock it. So what you do in that case, if you delete it, right? And don't tell me that it's not happening. It's happening all the time. And sometimes you say, oh, damn it, 2 months ago, I had this stuff. It was almost the same thing. I shouldn't have deleted that stuff because now I could reuse it. Well, you will hurt yourself. Or if you use my way, you will love me and you will send me an email and say, okay, thank you, right? I prefer that way, right? I prefer you love me than you hurt yourself, okay? So do that. Other question?
Why can't you rename? Is it used with execute SQL? Question mark.
Yeah, you can have this. Yeah, I tend not to rename stuff. I mean, as I said, you can rename stuff, like this, like I did, like this here in the trigger and remove stuff, But I tend not to rename stuff because most of the time I don't need to. Or you need to know, for example, let's say this was on layout enter, right? And you did a mistake. It was on layout exit. Well, of course, you're going to rename it. Stuff like this. But if you need to rename it because you repurpose the word script, yes. But if you need to rename it, yeah, rename. Rename. I won't be that opposed to the idea, unless it is in in the do not rename folder. Because if you do, you break. But rename. When I say I don't like to rename, it's like most of the time I don't need it, right? Because because this here, there's no way I can rename that script because that script cannot do anything else than move site, right? So you understand? Or if you repurpose completely the script, yeah. For example, if you duplicate the scripts and you want to use that script as a base for a new one, and yeah, of course, yes. Now, let's say I won't be that opposed to rename, but to delete, yes, don't delete. Right? Don't delete. For the reason I explained to you. Don't do that. Any other question? We can move.
Nope, we're good. So you can keep going.
Okay. So now, something we are talking about. So we talk about the do not rename. We talk about this trigger yesterday, right? So you notice that here I have multiple. So I can, let's close those paths or context. Well, in the contact here, you saw that I have an invoice stuff, right? And inside here, I have all my invoice stuff. So why invoice is inside contact? Well, because in that construction, I don't have an invoice per se entity. I have one, but it is not on top of a food chain. All invoice are all under contact. I don't have a layout where I see, I don't have a layout that points to an invoice table. Like I have a contact here, right? I don't. I have in contact, right? Where is this? Because I have an invoice here, but I have this, for example. I am in, when we come, I am in contact, and for each contact, I'm selecting the invoice, but I don't have an invoice layout. So even though this layout is all about invoice, but I'm seeing them throughout their contact. So that's why the invoice folder here lives inside the contact folder, because I am following my own advice. Since invoice belong to contact, right, on the food chain is under, well, in my script also, I don't have an invoice folder for scripts. Invoices are inside contact. So, and then here, if I open this, boom, I have my own world and my own Pisos trigger. Here I have my, actually it should be like this. It should be like this. Trigger pieces. Okay. So I have my own triggers, Pisos for contacts, right? And here inside the subfolder invoice, I have also a trigger Pisos for invoices. So then I don't mix. Those are for invoices. Those are for contacts. Right? Make sense? Otherwise, it's impossible. So here I know this Pisos is for invoice. Right? Correct? So why I'm doing this up? So now we see the thing here for the Pisos, right? So let's talk about Pisos. Pisos is, we cannot, so let's use here. We can't, let's say here I have perform something. Okay? And I'm setting a variable, parameter 1, and I have parameter 2, right? And parameter 1 come from get parameter, get value or get script parameter, script parameter. Value 1. And this is scripts parameter value 2, right? And then I'm doing like sort, and then I said perform scripts on server. Okay? Let's remove the sort, right? So I collect my parameters, right? And then I perform script on server because this is something that I want to perform on server. Okay? So let's say here, I name my stuff like 5001, right? Perform something. And here, I want to perform a script on server. What do? Right? I duplicate that script, which is ready, right? I duplicate that script. I bring it into the piso stuff. Pisos, I tend to add them like this, for example, 5801. Okay? And this is a PSOS, right? It's a pisos of perform something. This is a script, it's the initial script perform something that performs script on server. And this is the piece that the script on server of perform something. Correct? Right? You know that I cannot have I cannot say perform on server. I don't have doesn't exist a button. It doesn't exist a button that say perform script on server. We perform a script locally that perform the script on server. You know that. So I always need two, the initiator and the script on server. So what I'm doing here, I'm linking the two of them with the same name, right? This here, it could be like the number. Don't worry. You put the number you want, but the name here I have performed something, and this here I have the pisos of perform something. Okay, correct? So let's say now I have to perform something, and here I have blah, and then I have another perform. Okay, so let me attach this one. And then here I have another perform script on server. I have another one. Okay, that can happen. So what we do here, if I have two, well, what the first one was for, okay? Oh, the first one was perform something, generate PDF. Okay. And what the second one? Okay. The second one is insert PDF or, import PDF documents. Okay. Makes sense. So here now, and what I'm doing here, they are linked together. Yes, they're linked together because here I need this one and here I need this one. What do I do? Well, in that case, this one becomes the 5825A and this one becomes the 5825B. Okay. I know this one is perform something. So why I'm doing this, because if I look for perform something, boom, I have all the workflow at once. All the perform something workflow, I have them. I have the initiator and I have the two pieces. Of course, if I have another blah and then I have a third, right? Right? What do? Okay, I do my third, I name C, and this one is update contact, for example. Right? Let me. Okay. So now here I have all my workflow, the A, the B, and the C. Right? So now I know I generate PDF, I import PDF documents, and then I update contacts. Is there. Within the same workflow, perform something, perform something, perform something, perform something. Now, let's continue, shall we? Let's say in pesos now, right? Those scripts on server, okay? They do something, they perform, this one perform a script. Here, I'm performing a script also. Okay? So what do I do? Okay. In the pesos folder, I create a new folder. I call subscripts. Right? Okay? So let's say this one, right? Do, I don't know, Dyna PDF merge, for example, you know? So you have the, you know, whatever, perform, or, you know, the Dyna PDF, which is MBS, you know, MBS merge PDF, right? And you have a script for that. That another script, right? So you have a subscript. That means this one, right? We perform scripts within the piece of this. This is in. So this perform this on server. On server, you perform another script, right? How you do that? Well, you copy that name, right? The 5825A. And here you create a script and you call 5825A1 subscript perform something merge PDFs. Now, here you say, okay, it's a subscript. That means I am here, I'm performing another script, okay? And you name it here. So let's say here in this generate PDF, you have another one. You have another subscript. You say, okay, this is the 5825A2, and it's a subscript as well in the perform something workflow. And here you say delete garbage, right? And here, let's say you have another, you know, script here. You perform another script also from that script here, which is, you know, the delete garbage. Always from, it's a subscript in perform something workflow. The 5825A1, A2, A3, you know, let's say now you have the C here. And also the C has, right, a script, right? And here, so you call it C1. It's a subscript, and you say, okay, what it does, right? So I'm in the 5825C. I have a subscript here, and what do I do here? Let's say, I don't know, whatever. Okay. I'm doing here, I say, okay, here, and here the power of the numbers. Perform scripts, boom. Select the scripts. And here you have the number here. Okay, what do I want to? I want to perform the 5825C1. See? You have all the 5825. And here you can see all your workflow. All your workflow is there. The A, the B, the C, the A1, the A2, the C1. Okay, I'm in the C world and I want the 1. Right? So now you know you don't have to use your freaking brain for your naming stuff. Right? You know you're good. You are in the 5825A, A1, A2, A3. Really, you don't get it? How this will help you when you have those perform script, embedded perform script stuff? You sure that will never help you? Are you sure? Question.
PSauce that runs on a server goes in a subfolder? Question mark. The script that calls PSauce, where does it go?
Here, in the main stuff. It's the initiator. It's the first. The PSauce is the scripts that this one call on server. This one goes in the PSauce. You don't put that in the PSauce. This is not a PSauce. This is not a PSauce. This is a local script. This is a button on the script, on the layer, right? This is the script that is on PSauce and is there. This is PSauce. This is not. You don't put that on PSauce. No. Okay, let's show you how it works. I have invoice here. Here I have all the PSauce of invoices, right? But here, if I look for this one, right? This is a PSauce, right? If I do this, I'm pretty sure I will find, see? I have the initiator. No, I don't have it here because I think it's, this is the only one because this is, I don't have let's say maybe this one. I have the initiator with the same name. Yeah, right. So this one. I have the initiator, right? This is the script. I click the button locally, and this performs the scripts. The PSauce. But this is not the PSauce. This is the PSauce. This is the script the PSauce is calling. This is the script that hold the script step that send the PSauce. So this is not in the PSauce folder. This is. Right? Pretty much. This perform script on server script step always need to be named PSauce here. I should have the name of the script should be PSauce if it's not something wrong. Inside here, right? If I have a perform script within the script, it need to be like subscript when it's in PSauce. When it's not, it's not necessary to have this level. Did you get it? The name stuff?
Yes. What if a subscript calls a script?
What if
A subscript calls a script?
You continue. A1A, you know, and this one perform script. This one. And if you call 2, you continue B, right? And this one, because you know when you have when you have one A, 1B, you know this belongs to this one. You know? So you can do, you continue, boom. And this one, call the second one. So you know you're good, you know you call the right one, right? And to have all the workflow together, because something you need to know, because you don't know, that's why. Let's say I'm here, right? I have one script open. This is the main. This is the initiator of all my workflow, okay? This is the initiator. You hold the Command key on Mac and Alt key on PC, right? If you click here, it do this, right? If you click here, you know, on this, see here? If you click here, it do this. But if you click here holding Command on Mac and Alt on PC, boom. It opens the scripts in a new tab. I do it again. I click here. Okay, here with the Command key hold and or the Alt key on PC. I click here, boom. It opens these scripts in a new tab. If I click here, it opens this script in a new tab. If I go there, I can click here in the new tab. See, so you can open all you, and here now, thanks to the name, you know where you are in the hierarchy. You know where you are. 50, you know, I'm in 25A, you know. If I go there, right, boom, here I'm 25, I'm in 25C. You understand? Right? So you can open C here, right? So you can manage your stuff like this, thanks to that click, because you open the scripts. So the name like this, to connect the hierarchy, ABC, A1A, A1A, A1B, A1C, you know, you visually connects the workflow together, right? And you know, and of course, you know, when you have 2,000 scripts like I do, you know, and you want to stay on the 25, 28, 25 workflow, and you want to go here and to go here and to go here and go back here and go back here and go back here and go back here and here and here, and you go back here and you copy paste and you change this, you change that, and you update and you change. If you do this in an environment where you have one script here and then another one here and another one here, you know, and another one here. So you like this, you dance, okay, you here, and then you go her, and you go there, and you go down. This is a freaking nightmare. When you work in something complicated, when everything is together, like this workflow, boom, I have my 2015 workflow, right? And I can work on this and go there, go there, go there, go there, go there. I have all my workflow here selected. If you don't have this stuff here, how you do? Tell me, how you do to select in one piece what you need to do? You can't. Right? You can. And the number is good, right? Because here, for example, okay, I want to work on the 5825A workflow. I have it here. This is my A workflow. Oh yeah, but you know what? I want to work on the 2825A1 workflow is there. Right? you can narrow down your stuff, right? So yeah, definitely this naming system here, when you have a P source, first of all, you connect the P source with the same name, the same root name, they all connect to the perform something, right? Which is, this 5825 because you don't care about the initiator most of the time. What is in the initiator is just a button to perform the script on server. This is what you need to connect together, because this is what is performed on server, right? So if we have some time before we go, okay, to be complete on this script naming stuff, what about the callback, right? Because it can happen, perform scripts with callback, right? So it's on server, but I have a callback. So let's say here I have a D, update parcels, okay? That's my D, right? So when I'm here, my 25D is my P source, okay? Correct? And now that's my D. And I want the callback, right? Of this one. I want the callback. Well, the callback is together, right? And it's a callback scripts, right? So now I need to connect these together, 1 and 2. Callback, P source, callback. They are together. Why? It's because, 28, 25D. I have my workflow together. They stick together because it's a callback, right? So now here, I know this is D1 and this is D2. Why this is good is because visually, I know something, I know it's good. I know it's good. I have a D1 and D2, right? Because if I have something like this, okay, something wrong here. It's not, my callback cannot be new script copy 6. No, it needs to be D2 or E2 or A2 or whatever, right? Because, it's not a callback. I need to be named callback, that what the callback script is this one callback perform something update parcel, because it's the P source that the P source update parcel, but the callback is the callback of update parcel or perform something, right? Got it? So
Yes.
when I'm in big environments, okay, that's my callbacks, right? Sometimes I have many. I have the C2, I have the D3, right? I have many. B3, C2, D2, E2. Most of the time, the callbacks are twos, because I have the 1 is the P source and the 2, I have a D1 P source and a D2 callback, right? Like I did here. I have a D1 P source and a D2 callback because the perform script on server with callback is two scripts stick together, right? They stick together in the same script step. That's why to have a connected name like this, that helps you, right? Remember, all of what I'm what I'm showing here is not like if you have two scripts, one layout and two tables, doesn't apply, right? But if you have 2,500, scripts and 800 layouts and 300 tables and something like 68,000 fields, yes, you do need something like this. You understand? Otherwise, you spend hours and days retrieving your stuff, right? And trust me, how many of you didn't get epileptic when you have perform script on server and you have subscripts, script within script and stuff like that with the name, and who is not chasing them all in this freaking list, like you chase and you lost and you don't know where it was, right? Tell me the truth. I want to hear the truth.
We do have questions, by the way, if you want to tackle those real fast. Why do you create a separate script for PSOS? So, like, why two separate scripts for PSOS?
Because if you want to perform a script in a PSOS, you can do that. If you are in PSOS and in the PSOS you want to perform a script, you can. So you want to put all. You never do that. You never perform script within script.
They were suggesting, like, if pattern count get application version server, then perform script on server, else, do whatever the rest of it is. So
What you talk about?
I'm gonna screenshot this and send it to you.
Yeah, no, I understand, but what you talk about? It's not this here is not because you are on server that it will decide if you perform this on server, it will perform script on server. Doesn't make the pattern count server doesn't make any sense, because it's performed locally to perform on server. This perform pattern count stuff doesn't make any sense. This will perform on server. From here, it will perform from my local, it performs on server. Why you need the if pattern count server do on server? No, I think you don't know. I don't know who asked this, but doesn't know how PSOS works. PSOS is not perform script on server is not something that is performed on server when it is on server. So I don't know.
You have a special name for the script receiving the callback?
Yes, it's called callback. This is PSOS. This is callback. So a perform script on server with callback has two scripts, right? This is the PSOS. This is the perform script on server, and this is the callback. Callback script specified, and this is the perform script on server, PSOS specified. You specify the PSOS and you specify the callback. I cannot name this one PSOS, which is not. This is a callback, but they're all part of a perform script on server with callback stuff. So I put them together. I don't do this. Make any sense? Even though this is performed locally, this is performed on server, this is not performed on server. But I put that in the PSOS because they belong to a perform script on server with callback. And I don't want to put like a PSOSWC, it's too much. I prefer to have them like this because then they are visually together and makes things easier. To call them callback like this. Right?
Yes. There we
But
go.
there's no. I understand. I understand the resistance, and I understand the refusal, because yes, this is much more work than to just toss stuff, like this and 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 like this. Yeah, and I understand it's much more work. Type the thing, make sure you have the letters and stuff like this. This is the difference between a good development and a garbage. That's it. It's when you have when you have a good development, it's like, for example, in my house here, right? I ask a guy to do a tile job here, right? In my house, right? Well, and I will definitely hire the guy again. You know why? Because every day he left my bathroom and it was like everything clean, everything set up. It had all this tool on the side, all cleaned. I didn't have dust all over the place. Like another guy that it was one day was working in my house in the United States, right? And it was a pure nightmare, right? But this guy here, good job, because everything clean, everything neat. It's the same thing here, and if you don't have stuff like this, you will lose your mind. Okay, it depends if you like the BDSM, for example, right? If you are into it, you can keep using your way, and keep, but when you start using this, right, there's no go back. Absolutely not, because it's, as I said, the numbers. Remember, that's something you have to go maybe in 6 months from now, right? So if the script are scattered all over the place, you don't even remember, right? And if you use, bad name and short name without letters, and it's up to you. I'm showing my 40 years plus experience. Now, you can use it or not, okay? No obligation. No obligation. But this is definitely what we call object-oriented development, right? This is it. This is object-oriented development. And where the name itself, it's part of the coding. You know what I mean? The name is part of the coding, because when I go here, so let's say, just do something. So we have this, right? So we have meaningless names, right? So let's do like, I have a TREDFG, like this, okay? And here I have those, right? So, and this is new script, this is this one, this is this one, and this is this one, and and this is this one. Okay. So this better for you? Right? Is that better?
Yes.
That better.
Mm-hmm.
So when the script names mean nothing.
I'm trying to wind you up, Nick.
Okay, so see the problem here? This here, I know what it's doing. Generate PDF, import PDF document, update contact,
Mm-hmm.
right? update parcel. I have a callback on the update parcel. I'm doing this because this is something I already did, right? So yeah, I don't need comments. I know what it's doing. I know the workflow is correct because it's connected the right way, right? I know those two things are correct, right? In one glance, I know. It's okay. So if I have a bug, yeah, it's not because I'm not doing the right thing, because it's, maybe I have a bug, here, right? So now inside, let's say for a unknown reason, it could happen, right? I do this, right? Right? I change this. So it said A, C, and B. It happens sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, yes. Here you need a comment, moved to resolve, what's the name? Conflict issue, NHM, and today is the 09/3/03/25. Right? Say it was to resolve conflict issue, right? So I moved that. I moved the C before the B for that reason. So the comment is when you have something exceptional. It's not to explain what this means, because I know what this means. In the perform something workflow, I update the contact. That's it. I don't need to explain my life here. I don't need. But here something is happening, something unusual. I put the C before the B. I need to know why. Okay? Because in 3 months from now, 2 months, a year, you will say, why is there? Why this? Oh, let's put that back, and boom, you have the config back. Right? So yeah. Now the name on scripts is the most important. Layouts, it's okay. It has its importance, but it's not as prominent as the scripts. And this technique here is awesome, because that prevents you to think about the names, dealing with the names of I don't want to deal with names. Just make sure that you establish this the right way at the beginning, and then you can work on each of them and fix the issue if there's issues, right? And the next webinar we do when is the next one? Tomorrow?
Yes.
So what is tomorrow? The
Sort order, I think. Reversing.
the reverse order. When do we have this scripts?
I think that's next week.
The next week. Okay, yeah. Okay. So yeah, so when you will start doing the complex scripts, and and when you will have the interaction between scripts, pieces, subscripts, right? How we deal with this, how you make sure that it works, right? So this is the key, right? How you sure something works, right? So and without something you can break easily, right? Robust, we call that robust coding. Okay, so that's what we learn, the robust coding. Okay, so if we don't have, so really, who will start using that name, or who is doing it, and who will start using that naming stuff on all their layout and fields and TOs and stuff like this?
Yeah, a couple are saying me. I'll definitely do with it in my own like databases because I've got a couple personal ones that I run. That'll make things a lot simpler.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there. You waste time. I agree with that. I agree. You waste time. It's. And sometimes you can have a conflict. Like you can have twice the same number. It doesn't matter. I try to. Uh, you know. Um, Sometimes you can have twice with the same number and but I have it here, see, like this. I have a 20, oh no, 25, 20. Yes, sometimes you can have the same number but two things different. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter because then the name will, it's rare to have twice the same number, and it doesn't matter neither if you don't group together. Yeah, so before we go, then we finish with this. Let's say you there, right? And you say, oh yeah, but I have her here. I want to add something in between the A and the B, right? You see what I mean here? You want to add something between the A and the B, right? Well, don't be afraid to do that neither. The A1 and then you call it A2, right? If you want to keep the same, what I mean? Because otherwise you don't want to rename the whole thing, like to push like the A and then to push the B to be the C and the C to be the D and the E to the D to be no, just do this, you put something in between, what I mean? So you do this. That's the simplest way. When you want to put something between A and B, you say, okay, A1, A2, and B, right? That's the best way to do that. Okay, so I think we go.
I think
We
we are
good?
good. Yeah, no,
Okay.
thank you, Nick.
Okay, so tomorrow we do a good thing, and then at the end we have a third one about this sort stuff, right?
Yes.
No, we have two. We have two more.
We have one more this week about the sports
Yeah,
stuff.
but about the salt, we have two other. We have two, three or more.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know when they happen, but yes.
Yeah. At the end, you will get the file. Okay, the file that you will get out of this salt stuff, it is worth 4 days of my life of work.
Woo.
Okay. So $185 by 50. This is the value. Okay.
Yes.
Because this is the time that ask me. So it's a $10,000 value file. No, I'm not kidding.
There
So
we
that's
go.
why I don't want to give it like this. I want to give it at the end, right?
Yes, no, that makes perfect sense. Look forward to getting it.
Okay.
Thank you, Nick, sincerely. Looking forward to tomorrow. It'll be awesome.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. See
Have
you
a great
tomorrow.
day. Bye.
Bye. Bye.